crosshair on it. So what I have to do is, this is the pick tool in the toolbar. I'm going to come to it real quick and click on it. So now I can come over and grab the corner and stretch and pull, or stretch and pull, or stretch and pull. Now I showed you all this so I can show you another button up here in the property bar that's called the undo button. Now if I wanted to go back a couple of steps, I would just click on the undo button for each step. Once, twice, and see, it just keeps going back one level each time. So if you make a mistake, or if you didn't like it, you don't have to delete it and go back and redo it. Just click on undo. Now the button next to undo is redo. Now I can take it back to where I was just a second ago and click on redo, redo, redo. Now that's a very good way of making a couple of changes, and if you don't like them, you can come back and go back to where you were before. Now if I want to get rid of what I have here on the screen, there's two different ways. Up here in the property bar, you should have a pair of scissors. Now see, this wasn't selected before because there wasn't an object on screen. Now I can click on cut. It shows you the shortcut for cut. Right next to it is Control X. But I don't want to use cut all the time, because anytime I cut something from Corel, it's going to save it to your clipboard and you can paste it somewhere else later. So if I hit cut right now, it's gone. But if I go up to edit and paste, and the shortcut is Control V, there's my shape again. Because remember, anything you copy sends to the clipboard of Windows, and it saves it in its memory, so you can paste it again later when you need it. So if you want to get rid of it, and you don't want, especially if it's a large graphic and you don't want it bogging down the memory of your computer, instead of going to cut, then you can just simply hit delete on the keyboard and it's gone. Now if I go hit paste again, it will paste the same object there because it's still on the clipboard, but it's not because I hit delete. Delete will just get rid of it. So if I draw my object again, so if I'm going to make a smaller object like this, click on my pick tool, and I click here, this next button on the property bar right next to cut is copy, or Control C. Now I can click on copy. It's the same thing as going to edit and copy right here. It's just a shorter way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag this box over to the right hand side. Now you can notice that when I click and drag, that you see where the original object was, and of course where I'm going to put it. So this object over here will disappear once I drop this one. So I just let go of the left mouse. See, and I'm just holding the left mouse button down as I'm dragging it across. Okay, now if I come up to the next button after copy, it's paste, or Control V. Now when I hit paste, remember, I copied this object when it was up here. Anytime you copy an object, it's going to paste it in the exact same position that it was when you copied it, no matter where you move it. I could have deleted this. See, right now if I hit delete on the key, first I'll go to copy. Okay, copy. Now if I hit delete on the keyboard, I can still come up here and say paste, because I copied it right here. Now watch, I'll change the size a little bit. Copy. I'll move it out of the way. And then paste. See? So anything you copy and paste will go to the exact same place, and that will come in handy later. You'll find out when. Now, a couple other things. If I want to get rid of all these objects, there's a couple of different ways of doing that. You can do what they call a marquee select. You can left click with the mouse and hold it down, and you get a little blue bounding box, if you will, kind of a broken line dotted looking box. And when you left click and drag and let go of the left mouse button, it doesn't do anything, it just goes away. But that is because we don't have anything to select it with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up in the top left hand corner, and I'm going to left click and drag, and I'm going to take and put all three of these objects inside this blue box and drop it. That's how you would select multiple objects. Now what you have to remember is, I'm going to click off in the white space to deselect it, is you got to get every object inside the box. Now see, I've got box 1, 2, but the bottom one, I don't have the whole thing. Now if I just drop it now, it only has selected this one and this one because I did not have this box entirely inside of my what we call marquee select. So if I marquee select up high and just drag down to the bottom and drop it, everything that's in there, it will select. Now another way of doing what I just did is I'm going to click off in the white space. Is I'm going to click on the first object because maybe I need to select this object and maybe I need to select this object, but I do not need to select this object. Now what I do is I left click on the first object, I hold down the shift button on the keyboard, and then simply left click on the bottom object. Now real quickly I can come up also up here in the toolbar. I'm going to jump down here just a little bit. If you come over a little, you see where it says group. Now it's also showing you group the